Hey folks, Mike with Vulcan Cyber. Every week, the First Officer's blog covers just a few of the stories that made the news in the cybersecurity world. Here's the TLDR version of 3 from our April 10th, 2023 edition. Back on March 24th, GitHub announced that they had rotated their RSA SSH host key after the key was accidentally exposed in a public GitHub repository. The exposure only affected the SSH key for github.com, and it wouldn't have given access to any of GitHub's infrastructure or customer data. HTTPS and other channels were not affected, and there's no evidence that threat actors exploited the exposed key or even found it. Secure Shell has been an integral tool for administrators and developers for years, and it's good to see GitHub moving quickly and transparently to deal with this potential breach. Managing SSH keys can be a pain sometimes, but rotating them on a regular basis is a good practice, since the longer a private key is in use, the greater the chance of some kind of exposure. Next up, the Advanced Persistent Threat Group known as Deadbolt has again targeted vulnerabilities in QNAP equipment. This is like the 4th time in the last year that QNAP's had a zero-day exploit, with Deadbolt being a major antagonist. The vulnerabilities exploited were tracked as CVE 2022, 27597, and 27598. As I'm recording this a few days before posting, QNAP shows the status as fixing, and they rate the severity as low. It kind of raises the question, though, of how Deadbolt has managed to target them so successfully. While it's not uncommon for an attacker to look for more vulnerabilities after finding a first one, these guys seem unusually persistent. If you're a QNAP user, make sure you've deployed to industry best practices and the vendor recommendations. Third story of the week involves everyone's favorite exploited vulnerability from 2021, Log4j. There are recent reports of threat actors exploiting the Log4j vulnerability, but rather than deploying malware, they are deploying proxyware on the compromised host. Proxyware applications give you a small return for selling your access pipe to the proxyware vendors, who then charge their users for access to the proxy on your system. Here, the threat actors are installing the proxyware on compromised host and reaping the meager benefits for themselves. While the amount of money per host is pretty low, when you have a lot of compromised hosts to farm out, the totals can add up. It's kind of an unusual business model for these threat actors. Rather than going for a ransomware attack that can be complex but lucrative, this attack stays under the victim's radar and trades a potentially large payoff for a small but steady income stream. It's true that some of the proxyware vendors are above boards. Schemes like this show that not all of them are particularly careful about making sure that all of the clients they sign up are in fact legit. Finally, a couple things coming up. On April 24th to the 27th, Vulcan Cyber will be at the RSA conference in San Francisco. I'll be there myself along with Vulcan's team, so come on by our booth if you happen to be at the show. And on May 23rd, Vulcan's holding our next virtual Cyber Risk Summit. It's free to attend, so sign up and come on and check it out. But that's it for this week. If you're enjoying these on YouTube, please do us a solid and hit those like and subscribe buttons. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.